Hello everyone. Are you stuck on Bargraph questions? You don't know how to answer them. You want to build a strategy to answer them. Here is your strategy and how it works. What would be the tips and tricks? How the phrases would be written in that, how to interpret them. Every answers of those hows would be there in this session. So let's start with your bar graph questions. Each question compromises of the description of the graphic in few words, and there would be guidance provided. There would be a summary provided, and the visual representation such as chart, graph, table, etc. would be there. So you would have every question would have three parts. Firstly, they'll describe it, and there would be some guidance over it, and there would be a visual representation. It can be a pie chart, it can be a graphical, it can be a tabular method. So those would be how your question look like. Now, how will you answer those questions? You'll answer in three parts. Select the main feature first, write about the main feature, and compare the main feature. All three assignments pertain to the key characteristics of the chart. You need to discuss every single thing. Simply select two or three main characteristics. Okay, that's your first point. Write about those two or three characteristics which you have selected and then compare the main features, like why this is changing or what would be additionally going up, down. So you'll have enough material to write about it. So your question would have three parts and you'll answer in three parts with your main feature, selection, write about the main feature, and then compare the main feature. Next would be we are prepared to start composing your essay now. Here's a recap of the four section format which the examiner would be looking for. The first paragraph serves as an introduction to the topic at hand. Summary of the key points. The first key characteristics of the third paragraph is like this would be your summary. Another important aspect is the second main feature. So this is how your summary would look like. And your first paragraph will always would be an introduction. Let's talk about the introduction which we were talking about. In the opening, your task is to rephrase the query. Whatever is the question, you need to rephrase it in your own words. Use the paraphrases in a query to sunk it and varied manner. You have ability to achieve this task by utilizing different words and altering the structure of the sentence. So you have to rephrase your question, and that would be your introduction. There's everything required for the introduction. In an ideal scenario, terms like sector, contributions should be substituted with synonyms, but there aren't clear alternatives available, so it's acceptable to use them again. For example, for sector, they you may not find an alternative which would be a appropriate one. So it's good that if you want to use it again, never in never attempt to insert synonyms that don't quite fit with the language and sound neutral. So for example, there is a formal word and you're trying to paraphrase it with an informal word. That makes no sense, right? So if you don't find a paraphrase word which would actually meet the same sentence meaning, then you can use your same word and you can just write in a different way. In the IELTS bar chart essay, the third and the fourth paragraphs are where you provide a deeper analysis of what you see in the chart. When writing paragraph 3, make sure to include evidence, their backups, the initial ones, or two main aspects. Remember to draw the comparison when they are appropriate. In the last paragraph, repeat the same process for any other features you've left. So, your third paragraph should provide you enough evidence and you can back up with your data, the backup, the initial one or two main aspects, and remember to draw a comparison. So, how would your second paragraph look like is let's compose a second paragraph. In the following paragraph, you are required to provide an overview of the key characteristics visible in the chart when you see something is grown up from the years like from 2000 to 2010, something went up. down or it remained constant, you need to discuss that. Whatever you analyze those charts and what you have that concrete information. So you write them in your chart in a detailed manner that this went up, remains neutral, this gone down. Please rephrase the text for me to better understand. Present the data in a straightforward manner, utilizing the alternate terms when applicable. So you need to paraphrase at the same time. Don't copy paste the same words because they're looking about in this essay, they're just looking about how wide your vocab is. If you are short of words, I have lot of videos in my channel, synonyms for synonyms, paraphrase, phrasal verbs. You can use all those. Elaborate your vocabulary or complex grammar structures are not needed. Just use the correct word and verb form. Don't try to use so difficult words and that doesn't match up with what is required. So use the correct words and verb forms. Don't show off your highly vocab words. Vocabulary phrases for describing a bar chart in the overview sections of I'll task. In summary, in general, upon initial observation, upon a first glance, give the evidence, given the evidence, upsurge, increase, downturn, decrease, stay constant. These are all your vocab phrases which are used for your overview section. When you use in summary, to summarize, in general, seeing the initial observation, the provided evidence says that the increase in the volume, decrease in the chart, stayed constant for this years. So all these are your word. Reach the pinnacle, reach the highest point a little bit, dramatically, in a dramatic manner, progressively, as observed, as seen, as understood, stayed constant, remained neutral. So all these words are your paraphrase to be used on your introduction, third paragraph, first paragraph, summary, so that you're not short of these words because these would be the terms which the graph would be representing, and here are your words for them. Point to remember, analyze the chart clearly. Take the note what you want to show to the examiner, what you've understood from the examiner. With use those verbs, phrasal verbs which I have shown you, vocabs for the graphs. Writing strategies for each part of IELTS part. How would your introduction look like? How would your summary? How would your first, second? Uh, so all this you have to manage. Steps below for composing an excellent essay. Examine the question thoroughly, recognize the key characteristics. Writing the introduction involves creating a summary, involves composing the first paragraph with specific details, involves creating the second paragraph of the details. To sum up, creating a bar graph essay is simple as long as you carefully analyze and compare the data presented in the bar chart. Describing the essential elements provided in task first bar chart is important. We trust that the practice paragraph example, which I have given you, would be a great help for your writing task 1. And there are 20 minutes for completion, and it assists you in achieving a high score on your final IELTS writing test.